Yeah, welcome to the podcast. Stop Crying Poser, the greatest podcast known to man as voted by some guy named Phil. Dr. Phil Davis, and also unrelated Dr. Phil Davis. God damn it, motherfucker, what? Who do we got in the chat right now? Trainwreck, Alex G, KY the Psycho, Scootin' Ain't a Crime, Guy Just, Kerno Inferno, Notorious DQ, Wow exclamation, OG Mickey Blue, Raja, Hockey Man, Lyocell, and more. I appreciate everybody for tuning in live. If you're not tuning in live, guess what? I still fucking appreciate you. You matter. Your life matters. All right? All lives matter. Right? Or do they not? Do some lives matter more? Do some lives matter less? I don't know. If my voice sounds a little bit weird, it's because I've been sick for the past 2 days, which here's how my life goes. Metaphor for my life. If I'm ever feeling a little bit sick, that immediately becomes the day that I have the most work to do. So I'll set up the scene for you guys. A few days ago, I was filming for Flat Bar Friday, which actually came out today. We filmed these podcasts live on Friday at twitch.tv/Ninja Lifestyle. Anyways, I was filming kickflip backtail shove. I landed that, went for a couple of other tricks, skated really hard in the sun, came home, and I realized, oh, fuck, my back is really hurting. I've had this lifelong back injury for a long time. Couple that with being a little bit sick. So back hurts, I'm being sick. And then guess what day comes up? The day that I have to help Lily move out of her apartment. So now that my back is hurt, and now that I feel sick, I'm lifting couches, I'm lifting bed frames, mattresses, dragging things, further hurting my back even more. And oh, guess what? Since my throat was hurt and I didn't feel like talking, guess what I had to go through every fucking other second? Hey, should I bring this? Should I bring this? Should I bring this? Should I pack this? Should I throw this away? And I'm just sitting there just in my head, like painfully just laying on the couch, like, I don't care what you bring. I don't care what you're gonna move. Just stop it. Just stop. Stop the earth. Superman flying backwards. Fucking rotation, please. Jesus, help me. But you know what happened? Jesus didn't help me. I had a chance, and I just had to sit there and suffer, and that's part of life, right? Sitting there and suffering until it's over, and now Friday's here, the weekend's here. Gonna be drinking it up, having a good time, and hanging out with my dogs right here on the podcast. We don't have that many topics today, but I'm gonna fill you guys in. We're gonna talk a little bit about Pablo P-spliff Ramirez, R.I.P. Skateboarder in San Francisco, was killed while skateboarding. It was an accident. I'll give you guys my thoughts on that. Notre Dame burnt down. I don't know anything about it, so you guys are gonna have a chance to listen to me ramble about something I have no fucking idea about. Weird, right? It's kind of rare that we would ever do something like that. We're gonna talk a little bit about the Vegas Golden Knights, and other than that, I have no fucking topics whatsoever. So, should be a good time. We can go ahead and get started now, though, with the news. I have 5 pretty interesting news articles. Ba-bam. First one being, kids can get a movie ticket, a drink, and popcorn all for $4 this summer at AMC theaters. I don't know what this article's about, but I want to start this by saying how terrible of an idea this is for Las Vegas. Kids in Las Vegas are terrible, horrible human beings. They're just shitty fucking, they're like rats. Whole families, rats. It's just terrible people that, I'll give you guys an example. I was driving to the store the other day, the auto parts store, and it was a school zone going, all the lights are going, and you know what kids do? They run in front of cars just to be funny. Like, they just run in front of cars to see, like, who can fuck up the most cars. And in a perfect world, that would be, I mean, in Steve-topia, that would be amazing if kids tried to pull that shit in Steve-topia. Then it would be, you know what, you would actually get money from the state. You would get extra, like, taxes taken off of your income tax in Steve-topia if you run over a kid being dumb. Like a kid running in there, because I feel like maybe you're doing the world a favor. Kid's dumb, he's going to test out a car to see if it runs him over. Okay, I feel like that kind of problem should solve itself. But instead, here in America, which is a different place than Steve-topia, we give these kids extra tools to be dumb. And that's exactly what this is. You're letting these kids go to a dark place alone with their friends. They get a drink, okay, filled with sugar, so it makes them act crazy. They get popcorn, which all they're going to do is throw that shit in the air anyways. And they're able to do this for $4, which $4 is easy for a kid to get. Mow a couple lawns, that's you're able to go to the movies every single goddamn day in summer. And it's going to disrupt everyone else, but I wasn't even thinking about disrupting everyone else. I just can't wait to see this shit backfire with how many kids get either jumped or in fights, or how many kids fucking throw shit at the screen, destroying things. You know those big cardboard cutouts of fucking bullshit Mark Wahlberg in his newest movie? Kids are going to run over there, fucking smash those to the ground. It's going to be a fucking disaster. And I'm wondering if kids are like that all over the place. I'm sure that kids are retarded and they run in front of cars and shit all over the place, all over the United States, maybe even all over the world. But I feel like in Las Vegas, the kids are just a next level dumb. And I'm pretty sure Nevada is number 49 out of 50 when it comes to the dumbest high schools. And I think we're number 1 on dropouts. I think we're also, coincidentally, number 1 on suicides. But the issue is that AMC is going to immediately regret making this decision when kids fucking pour into these AMCs. And adults are going to fucking not like it either. Because I've had a couple of friends that worked at movie theaters. They all made below minimum wage. They all made fucking $7.38 an hour. For what? To have kids fucking throw drinks on and fuck around all day? Sneaking in 211, right? You know kids are going to sneak in alcohol, and since kids are smaller, it takes less for them to get drunk. They're going to get drunk faster. They're going to become reckless. It's going to get fucking stupid. I'll tell you guys something. Something about me. I'm a piece of shit, okay? And the reason I'm less of a piece of shit in movie theaters is because it costs so much. I'm going to tell you guys a story. Long time ago, this was probably like 10 years ago. I went to the movie theater with my girlfriend at the time, and I don't remember what movie we were watching. Something dumb. And I had to go to the bathroom. I looked around. Movie theater's completely empty. So you know what I did? Right there in the movie theater, I stood up, fucking pulled my dick out, and just peed right on the ground. Why? Because I'm a piece of shit. Now guess what? If movies weren't so goddamn expensive, I'd be doing that all the time. But instead, you know what it costs for me to go see a movie, get a drink, and popcorn? $38. $38 fucking dollars. Not worth it for me to piss on the ground in public for $38. $4? It's going down. Also, the alcohol, kids are going to be throwing up everywhere. You want to clean up, throw up for $7? Absolutely not. I'd quit my fucking job on the spot. I used to work on slot machines. I tell you guys this all the time. And I had a boss that was a complete dick. And he would send me on the dumbest missions. We had a work truck that was always fucked up because nobody knew how to drive but me. And the truck would just always be fucked up. I remember one of my coworkers, it was raining one day. He's like, yeah, I was getting on the freeway and the truck did a fucking 360. And I'm like, okay, like it slid and did a 360. Why weren't you driving more safe, you fucking asshole? So one day the boss was like, hey, you got to go take the truck to get an oil change and get tires rotated. And I was like, okay, like I'm a slot tech. I'm not some car guy. So you gotta go do it. Also, and then another time, same boss told me to change one of the tires one day, and I was like, I don't get paid for that shit. He's like, well, you know what? I'm your boss. You do what I say. And I said, you know what? I'll go to your boss. I'll bring up the shit that I signed when I was working here, and under where it says responsibilities, I'm gonna look for the terms shop bitch. And if I don't find shop bitch under responsibilities, then you can fix this fucking car yourself. Basically, they were just trying to save our division, our little department. They were trying to save money. So this motherfucker tried to get everybody to work on the car themselves. Like, fuck you, dude. Same as it would be if I worked anywhere where someone might throw up. Even if it's like a 7-Eleven or a fucking convenience store. Anywhere, gas station. You're in there. If I'm there, I'm the checkout person. My job is to count money and make sure that my drawer has the right amount of money at the end of the day. That's what the fuck I'm going to do. But when it comes to cleaning up bathrooms, when some kid writes 666 and then a swastika on the wall in fucking human shit, nope. Sorry, dude. I quit. I quit that day. I didn't actually ever do that, but I would quit that day. Also, funny story. I've told you guys this before. Richie used to live in this apartment and they got evicted. Actually, this guy, JP, lived in the apartment, but one day me and Richie were there for something, and it was just a shithole apartment. I've told this story before, but I'm going to tell you guys this one part that came to mind right now. I remember the landlords had completely fucked the dude, so he was going to destroy the apartment no matter what. So me and Richie went in there, and I remember I took a shit on on a newspaper or like a magazine, and then I climbed on a ladder, and I unscrewed the vent, and I tossed the shit down the vent, and then when we left, we turned on the heat, and then we came back days later, and the apartment had been completely quarantined, so we just made it really hard. I also, I screwed the vents back on, so the apartment would smell like human shit. Hot, burning human shit in summertime, and they would never be able to find out where the shit smell was coming from. That was me. That was my genius idea. But I tell you guys what else I did with one little nugget, one little peanut of poop. I grabbed it with... Oh, did I mention I'm a scumbag? I grabbed it with a magazine, a little doo-doo nugget, and I wrote the word poop on the wall. And I don't know why it's so funny to me. It's funny because it's like this weird, this weird, poeticness to it. This weird irony to the fact that I wrote the word poop on the wall in actual poop. And I'm sure I'm not the first person to ever do that. It probably happens every single day. I wish we had a statistic for that. You know what happens every day? Fucking every 98 seconds, a person is raped. Every 22 seconds, someone is murdered. And every 8 seconds, a violent crime appears. Also, every 2.5 hours, someone writes the word shit on the wall in actual human shit. So, I'm just saying, we haven't even read the article yet, and I'm just saying this is going to be a bad idea. Why? Because people like me exist, and I was a kid once. So, let's read what's going on here. Being a kid is already pretty great. Now it's a steal. This summer, AMC Theaters is offering a sweet $4 deal for a movie, popcorn, fruit snacks, and a drink. Fruit snacks. Okay, let me know in a comment, people, who in the fuck, when you guys go to the movie theater, maybe you get popcorn because that's like the classic thing you get. You get popcorn because you want to feel like you're at the movie. Do you get other weird shit? Do you get gummy bears and little fucking Tootsie Rolls and little pudding pops or whatever the fuck else they have? Why would you do that? First off, because they're going to take the price and they're going to fucking quadruple it. All right? However much a fucking Jolly Rancher pudding pop is. I just like saying pudding pop. However much that shit is. Ugh, I can't breathe. It's going to be, let's say it's $2. It's going to be $19. For that shit. Why would anyone do that? I don't know. Anyways, fruit snacks. Who the fuck eats fruit snacks? Okay, I never liked fruit snacks. Why? I don't like the texture of gummy bullshit. I don't like fruity shit. I don't like gelatin shaped sugar balls. Why do people do that? I'll never understand. I'm having a hard time speaking right now, guys. The sickness is catching up with me, and we still have 30 minutes left for me to ramble, so I'm going to do my best. From June 5th to August 14th, participating theaters will offer discounted showings of PG movies on Wednesday morning. Wait a minute. Wednesday morning? I thought this was going to be every day. Now, they're smart because nobody wants to do something dumb on a Wednesday morning. The list of titles includes Smallfoot, Trolls, Hotel Transylvania, Peter Rabbit, Wonder Park, How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World, and more. Okay, so these are all kid movies. Now, I'll tell you again, kids are fucking crazy people, right? They do little weird shit. Can you imagine getting a blowjob to Hotel Transylvania 3? Well, that's what the fuck's gonna happen. And then some kid's gonna throw up, and then some kid's gonna write poop on the wall, AMC. And it's all gonna happen on a Wednesday morning. Someone in the chat says, Kelly Wasaka. Kerno Inferno says, Kelly Wasaka has a whole merch line based around fruit snacks. That's good. I've only met that guy once, but that's cool. Good. Fruity snacks for fruity people, fruity ideas. Good. I hope he's making a shitload of money. Older people who are still young at heart and would like to see these kid-friendly movies can also take advantage of the program. Children under 12 must be accompanied by a chaperone. So between 12 and 14 is going to be the most evil kids. What's the top. What makes you a kid? 12 to 17? 17-year-olds are going to be in there? Oh, this is going to be a mess. AMC is proud to offer this program to give our AMC Classic communities a fun and safe activity for kids this summer. With the rise of streaming, theater chains like AMC have been trying to entice customers to leave their couch and experience the big screen through new deals. You want to make this shit exciting? Get a giant fucking game of Mario Party going in the theater. Or Mario Kart. Or Smash Bros. They got a new Mortal Kombat that's out. You want to get kids off the couch? Play some fucking video games. No kid's going to get off the goddamn couch to watch, what the fuck, Peter Rabbit and Wonder Park. How to Train Your Dragon's probably actually pretty dope. I'm a big fan of the How to Train Your Dragon series. I feel like I've said this before. How to Train Your Dragon 1 and How to Train Your Dragon 2 for an animated film, pretty hard when you have a number 1 and a number 2 and a number 3. When you have a sequel, it's pretty hard to keep the sequel good. Toy Story, I guess, did a pretty good job of it. How to Train Your Dragon did a great job of it. And I have a feeling they're going to completely blow it with How to Train Your Dragon 3. I just feel it in my plum. How many Minion movies are there? Actually, what's the movie that came before Minions with the guy with the long nose? It was like fat and he had like kids or something. Isn't there a couple of those? I got to get back up on my fucking kid movies. Minions is dope as fuck too. Anyways. Last year, AMC started offering a loyalty program known as A-List. It allows subscribers to see up to 3 movies a week for $20 to $25 a month, depending on where they live. That's pretty cool. A similar program, MoviePat, blah, blah, blah. I don't fucking care. Basically, the end of the story is this. If you're a kid and you want to go fuck shit up, take your little fucking girlfriend over there, go fuck some shit up, sneak in a little mini bottle of Hennessy, and get your dick sucked watching an animated film. Go for it. And then while you're done, shit on the wall and throw up somewhere. Next news article. Former Metro detective charged with murder shot a man 10 times. This article is written by 4 people, so if I find a fucking spelling mistake, I'm going to lose my shit. A former Las Vegas Metro Police detective is charged with murder. Shot her ex-son-in-law 10 times, according to the Clark County District Attorney's Office. Okay. Las Vegas Metro Police say that Pamela Bordeaux killed 32-year-old Sean Babbitt inside a Northwest Valley home Monday morning. They say Babbitt died from multiple gunshot wounds and his death was ruled a homicide. Well, that's amazing. Amazing reporting here. The title said he got shot 10 times. I'm wondering how he died. According to police spokesman Laura Metzler, officers were called to the 8500 block of Honeyvine Avenue near North El Capitan Way and Raquel Street. I don't know where any of this shit is. Property records show the home belongs to Bordeaux. In a court appearance Tuesday, prosecutors believe the shooting was sparked by a child custody battle between Bordeaux's daughter and Babbitt. Blah, blah, blah. Babbitt only got 1 hour a week with his son and he wanted more. He was paying $800 a month in child support. Holy shit, the lawyer said he should have more time. They filed a motion and the shooting happened. Okay. Didn't we cover something like this last week? Some kids were trying to get taken out of some foster home because the parents were being fucked up. And the parents said some shit like, well, if we can't have the kids, nobody can. And they killed the kids and killed themselves. That's what should happen here. If the kid's fucking dead, or the dad, or anybody's fucking dead, this bitch should go to jail forever. A Las Vegas judge ordered to hold Bordeaux without bail due to lack of information in her case. Bordeaux is scheduled back in court, blah, blah, blah. She retired 2 years ago from the Metro Police Department after 23 years as an officer. Whoa, a public defender said Bordeaux also served in the U.S. Army. He would never harm a fly. So wait, both of their names are Bordeaux or Babbitt? Bordeaux retired about 2 years ago from the Las Vegas Metro Police Department after 23 years as an officer. A public defender said Bordeaux also served in the U.S. Army. He would never harm a fly. So I don't know who's the guy and who's the girl because the picture is just a girl right here. I have no idea what happened. It doesn't make any sense. Guy just says, how big are these clips? Like, did she change rounds before shooting again? She probably had a 17 rounder, 16 rounder if she was a cop or something. All right. That was a waste of news. I'm sorry to have wasted your time. Now with the real story. The Vegas owner says NHL executive apologized for Game 7 penalty. Now, I'm a big Golden Knights fan. I have to be because we don't have any other big pro sports here. Hockey was one of the first ones we got, and I became a fan immediately. I never watched hockey in the past. I became a fan only last year. Not because I'm a bandwagoner, but because Vegas did something, and I'm going to support it. We also have the fucking women's fucking NBA team or whatever, and I think we also have a soccer team. I'm going to pretend I'm fans of those too, but guess what? Hockey's way more interesting than WNBA and way more interesting than fucking minor league soccer, so I'm a big fucking VGK, Vegas Golden Knights fan. I even went to a game. In fact, the game I went to was Knights versus Sharks, maybe like 6 months ago. Anyways, I'll quickly explain what happened. One of the Sharks, he got lightly shoved and he forgot how to skate backwards. So instead of turning around, he ran into another player, swanton bombed his own fucking brain into the ice because, I don't know, I guess Sharks were doing bad. So he had to fucking take one for the team, tripped over his own goddamn self, smashed his head on the ground. Refs didn't see it. So then the refs awarded them a 5-minute major penalty, which means for 5 straight minutes, no matter what happens, their team has one more player than ours. So if it was an NBA, it'd be like some bullshit, right? If they did that in the NBA. If they did it in MMA, can you imagine fucking Alistair Overeem versus that fucking Russian guy? They're just standing there, and then the ref goes, hold on, you're not allowed to punch for 5 minutes. Good luck. And then you look at the ref, and you're like, why? Why am I not allowed to punch? And the ref goes, I don't remember. I don't know. What's fucked up is all you have to do is look up. You can see the replay. But I guess the call on the ice stands, and I know it's a little bit controversial, but there's very few unbiased people who disagree with me. It was a bad call, and it changed the entire fucking game. Because in the next 4 minutes, remember I said for 5 minutes, we have one less player. In 4 minutes, they scored 4 goals. So it was 3-0. Then it became 4-3. Sharks were winning. And then we scored one with like 40 seconds left. It was 4-4. We went into overtime. And then we lost pretty fair and square in overtime. Now, I'll give it to the Sharks. You guys shot 4 times, and our goalie couldn't block them those 4 times. So I guess you earned that. And there's nothing you can do. I don't expect Shark fans to feel bad. All I want is for everyone to feel sympathy or empathy for our team because we worked really fucking hard. They worked really fucking hard. We also got fucked in Game 6, which I don't want to talk about that. We got fucked in Game 6 because these refs. So now in Game 7, the refs fuck us again. And I know maybe there's no instant replay like things set up for a call like that, but all you gotta do is look up. Because there's a big screen on the wall, and you can say, oh, wow, the Shark forgot to skate backwards. Fucking Swanton bombed his own fucking brain into the ground. Sucks for you. So it happened. It's sad. Sad for us. Those guys worked way too hard. In my opinion, they're still champions. Blue Raja says it was a fucked call. Same thing happened to the Devils a few years back. Refs suck. Now, the refs have been pulled off of their jobs, right? They've been laid off. The refs were so bad at what they did, they've been laid off. Now, I don't know how often that happens, but I feel like that's a big deal. Also, some NHL executive apologized. Let's read the article. The owner of the Vegas Golden Knights said Thursday a senior NHL executive phoned him to apologize for a penalty called during Game 7 of his team's loss to the San Jose Sharks. Owner Bill Foley said this call came the morning after Vegas lost 5-4 in overtime. Foley said at a news conference, the call came from an executive who's about as senior as you can get, so maybe this is fake. The play in question was a major penalty on Cody Eakin of the Vegas Golden Knights that Foley described as infuriating. Absolutely correct, it was infuriating. The owner said the executive admitted it was a bad call and the league did acknowledge it. Foley said he was sitting with injured Eric Halla in a suite at the SAP Center when Eakin cross-checked Sharks captain Joe Pavelski in the chest with 10:47 to play. Okay, so cross-checks, right? It's a big deal. It's a It's a penalty. Cross-check somebody too hard, right? Well, the issue is it wasn't too hard. It was an average, everyday cross-check that happens every single time there's a face-off. Every time there's a face-off, there's a light bump. Probably happens 50 to 60 times a game, that light bump. Unfortunately, the Shark realized that his team was losing, so he said, you know what I'm going to do? This light check that we do multiple times per game, I'm going to change this whole fucking game. Light check. Ooh, felt like fucking Mickey Mouse slipping on a banana peel. Ooh, you could hear that sound from fucking Scooby-Doo when they're about to run. Fucking falls, turns down, face plants in the ground, gets knocked out, bleeds a little bit, and 5 minutes. 5-minute fucking power play. Paul Snasty bumped Pavelski as he fell to the ice, where he was knocked out and bleeding on the ice. Now, I don't wish anything bad against him, and I am kind of making the joke that he did this on purpose. I don't think he actually did this on purpose. I just think it was a bad thing to happen. But the officials conferred on the unreviewable play while a dazed Pavelski was helped to the locker room. Now, it took them fucking a minute to get this guy off the ice. 1 whole minute. Nobody could have leaned back and looked up at the screen where they showed multiple fucking replays. No one, not one ref could look up into the air and maybe say, I didn't see what happened. Maybe if I watch this replay, and it's not like they have to watch it from multiple angles, right? All they have to do is skate backwards and look up to see what happened in slow motion while this guy's getting taken off the ice. It takes a while. It took a while for them to find out he was unconscious. Then they had the doctors come out and sort of wake him up. Then they had to pick him up, pulled him slowly off the ice, let him walk into the back, short fucking little break. All that time in the world they could look up and figure it out, but they didn't. Eakin was assessed a 5-minute penalty for cross-checking and a game misconduct. The Sharks scored 4 goals on the ensuing power play, which, let's give it to them. Hats off. Scoring 4 goals in 4 minutes is fucking amazing. I don't feel like Fleury dropped the ball. We just had one less defender. So, sucks for us. We lose. The game was ours. It was over. We were looking, saying all we got to do is play some defense, play defense, and stay out of the box. Within 30 seconds, 5-minute major. It wasn't a penalty. Painful, says the owner. San Jose coach Peter DeBoer? I don't know if I'm saying that name right. Said Pavelski is listed as day-to-day, but is not expected to be cleared for game 1. Boer downplayed the league's call to Foley. I haven't gotten many of their calls where they made a mistake. There were a couple earlier in the series where I would have appreciated a call. We're past that. We're on to the next opponent now. You're a straight-up bitch. Okay, because you didn't lose the entire series from that one little fucking call. You got one fucked up call, maybe 1 or 2, and you still made it. Sure, that happens to everybody throughout the series. But when it happens on game 7, it kind of changes things. When it's game fucking 7, and the ref fucks up so blatantly, so terribly of a call, you got to say to yourself, well, does the team not deserve this? Does the team not deserve that shit? Because guess what? As far as 1-on-1, 5v5, right? As far as like full strength, we scored 4 goals. As far as full strength, Sharks scored 1. Okay, we worked really fucking hard. I don't know. I guess it doesn't mean much. I know I'm just crying and bitching and complaining. The podcast is called Stop Crying Poser. I'm going to stop crying. It's just a tragedy. What happened to them? I feel like they deserve better. That's all I'm going to say. Sri Lanka bombings. Death toll rises to 359 in, quote, brand new type of terrorism. Now, these are bombs that went off. So it's weird that this is a brand new type of terrorism because this has happened multiple times in the past. I remember the Oklahoma City bombing. That shit was huge. I also remember, wasn't there a bombing during some like running marathon or something in France? Isn't France getting bombed all the fucking time? So why are we doing this brand new type of terrorism? Why are we downplaying what happened here? You want to know why? Because bombs are illegal. Woo! And bombs still fucking happen because evil people will do evil things despite what the law is. Which brings me back to all of our fucking gun people. Oh, we have to make guns illegal so that suddenly no one can use them. Oh, that's interesting because bombs have been illegal forever. All right. There's also no like concealed bomb license you can get. There's no cool like class you can take where like, hey, guess what, dude? I took the bomb class. Now I'm legally allowed to carry a bomb. No one can fucking have bombs. Unless you're part of like the bomb squad, right? No one's allowed to have it. No one. Yet somehow these people still find a way to get their hands on them, create them from ingredients and shit that are supposed to be illegal probably, and they still find a way to do it. That's weird. It's weird that illegal things can happen despite being illegal, right? Gun people, shouldn't we ban all guns? That way they would just all just magically disappear, magically delicious. They would just go fucking end up at the end of the rainbow and no one would ever find them. Haha, yeah, that's right. Anyways, 359 people as of April 24th. That's a lot of people. At least 359 people are now known to have died in a coordinated attack on churches and hotels on Easter Sunday in Sri Lanka, and what officials have called a brand new type of terrorism. Police have arrested at least 40 people in connection with the suicide bombs, which injured at least 500 people. Suicide bombs. Oh, that's weird. That's a new type of terrorism? I thought that's been happening for fucking hundreds of years. Maybe not hundreds, but ever since I've been alive, I've heard about suicide bombers. 500 people at least injured in the worst violence the South Asian island has seen since its bloody civil war ended 10 years ago. Authorities were facing accusations that they failed to act on a warning received 10 days before. Okay. An Islamist group was preparing an attack. Someone said in the chat earlier that they're like suppressing this type of news in the U.S. I didn't hear anything about this. I think this would be a big deal. I got an Amber Alert the other day. Some kid went missing and then got found an hour later because fucking somebody didn't check in early enough. So my phone went off. Amber Alert. Bah, kid missing. But 360 people dead in some huge fucking thing. I didn't find out about it until today. So what is today? Today's the 26th. When did this happen? Easter? Or was it a week ago? I'm finding out about this now. There were fears of more devices. A ninth improvised explosive device was defused near the capital, blah, blah, airport. So that's nine explosions. 9 times. 9,000. Most of the dead and injured were Sri Lankan, of the foreign nationals who died, blah, blah, blah. The blast appears to have targeted tourism hotspots as well as churches in an effort to gain maximum global attention. Blah, blah, blah. The prime minister said, blah, blah, blah. It just is a fucked up thing, dude. That's a lot of people to die for some shit and then me not to hear about it. And, I don't know. Little is known about Islamic radicalism in Sri Lanka, and that it was premature to speculate on which organizations might have been involved. If there's 40 people in custody, is it really premature to speculate? 40 people? Blue Raja says, Steve, I have CNN on work all day as well as MSNBC, and all this was all over the news that day. I don't think it was suppressed. Oh, okay. Interesting. iBook says that Las Vegas Amber Alert system sounds awesome, though. Well, maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, which is no surprise here on the podcast Stop Crying Poser. A lot of what I say is just complete bullshit. But if your only source of news is this podcast, then at least take this article as this. Something fucking terrible in the world happened. And, take it for what it's worth. More than 1,000 people had gathered, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to go through all these statistics, but something terrible happened. And I don't know the solution, right? We talk about gun violence and mass shootings and murder, and we talk about a lot of political shit on the podcast sometimes, but when it comes to something like this, dude, what's the answer? I don't know what the answer is, man. Horrible people are going to try to do everything in their power to do horrible fucking things. And I feel kind of like hopeless in the fact that I don't know what you can do to change it, right? Whoever fucking went in here blowing shit up killed themselves. So any sort of like threat of punishment is not going to work, right? I mean, can we do something like, hey, if a suicide bomber fucks something up, or if someone bombs a building, we fucking throw their entire family in prison? Well, that's not fair. It's not constitutional. That would never work in America. Probably wouldn't work anywhere else. Okay, if they do that, then what, we hang them out on a wall and just let you fucking throw rocks at them forever? Maybe really inhumane, but I feel like if you're down to kill multiple innocent people, then there's no amount of punishment that's ever going to change your mind. And it's just a sad thing to think about, you know? What do you do? We're kind of hopeless to this shit, right? Like, there's not a whole lot you can do. It's It's a sad idea, but I'm with Blue Raj on this. Terrorism will always happen. You know what I mean? There's going to be crazy people, even without religion, even without struggle, even without poor countries, even without anything. There's still going to be something crazy that some person's always going to find a way to do. So we'll move on to the next article, which also is a especially heinous act. A 5-year-old boy was thrown off of a Mall of America balcony, and he's showing real signs of recovery. Now, when I read this, I thought maybe he was trying to do like a jackass prank, but it turns out the story is actually much sadder and much more morbid. So we'll skim through it here. The 5-year-old boy who was thrown off of a third floor? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Kill this person. At the Mall of America is showing real signs of recovery. Our miracle child Landon is showing signs of recovery. New test results have been positive. Blah, blah, blah. They have a GoFundMe page. He has a lot of surgeries ahead. Emmanuel Aranda, 24 years old of Minneapolis, is accused of throwing the young child off of the mall balcony and is charged with attempted murder. According to a criminal complaint, the boy and his mother were outside of the Rainforest Cafe when Aranda came up close to them. The mother had never seen him before, and she asked if she and her son should move. Instead, he picked up the boy and threw him over the railing. He told police he had come to the mall a day earlier, intending to kill an adult, but that did not work out. So he returned Friday and chose the boy. Aranda told police he knew what he was planning to do was wrong. He explained that he had visited the mall for years, trying to speak to women there, but they rejected him. Aranda said that made him lash out. So this is one of those incel guys, right? Is that the Reddit group that was angry at women, so they just do violent things against women because they don't evolve and learn how to talk to bitches? Now, this is what makes me fucking angry, because I have a lot of friends like this. They're really all about, like, you know, everyone should cry for me. Everyone should feel pity for me. Poor me. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. And all you do to these people is you say, hey, listen, man, if you're upset with your life, you know, maybe work on getting a better job. Maybe lift some weights to get yourself healthy body, healthy mind, eat better. You know, if you're having trouble talking to women, maybe analyze your mistakes and try to change it. But a lot of these kids and men now, fucking grown men, they don't look at it that way. It's this weird sort of entitlement to where, hey, that guy can pull bitches. I should be allowed to. And you look at him and you're like, oh no, you're a fat fucking slob. You don't know how to talk and you stink because you don't shower. I should be able to get bitches though. No, motherfucker. And then they lash out. And if you guys have never heard of this, I think it's called incel. I might be wrong. But it's this big group of just angry people. And I have had multiple friends like this. And it's one of those things where it's like, hey, you give them this logical advice, okay? You give them the keys to the city saying, hey, listen, the way that you're trying to fucking get bitches is not working. So maybe look at people who are getting bitches and sort of take their way. Even if you want to, like, fake it till you make it, right? If you're a virgin and you're fucking 25 and you've tried a bunch and you've really gotten yourself out there, then how about this? Make up a fucking fake personality and go try some new shit. All right? Because walking up to a chick in the mall stinking like BO and saying, I think it would be really nice if we could have a kiss with each other, because I looked at you from across the room. I thought you were delectable, and I feel like I like to start my dates with a kiss, and then maybe we could exchange information, and maybe one thing will lead to another, and we could get to sucking on maybe dicks or something like that. And then maybe we could work it out into getting married and have kids. And then the bitch goes, who the fuck are you? You stink boy. I don't fucking know you. What is all this bullshit you're talking about? This is stupid. Get away from me, troll. You fucking hideous bitch. Get away. And then the guy goes, oh my God, no. Women are all the same. Women are all the same. No, what it is, motherfucker, is you motherfuckers are all the same. You motherfuckers are all the same. And my lady has seen it 1,000 times. I'm just saying, man. That's how these fuckers think. They feel like it's some weird entitlement thing. And rather than better themselves in any way whatsoever, You know what I mean? They have websites you can go to and look up and figure out, like, you know, what bitches are into. Okay? But the last thing you want to be doing is start making up theories in your head, right? Oh, the milady actually wants, this is the type of guy she wants. She wants a fat slob with no job to go over to her and fucking rustle on up to her and tell her how beautiful she is and demand her number. And when she says no, they want you to get mad. They want you to get angry. They want you to go kill a child for no fucking reason, you fat slob. Oh, I wish there's a picture of this guy. There's not, but man, it makes me angry. And I actually had no idea what direction this article is going. But you can also look at this guy and hear from his statement that he takes no responsibility for this. In his mind, this is still women's fault, right? That made him lash out. In his mind, this is the fault of women. He's not taking any responsibility for potentially murdering an innocent child. In his mind, he's so fucking backwards and so entitled that this is now the fault of women. And it can only snowball from here. So, what's the guy's name again? Emmanuel Aranda, 24 years old. You're a piece of fucking shit. And you know what? You're going to get your share of sexual loving in prison from a man. I guarantee you that. So that's all I have for the news today. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Pablo P-spliff Ramirez. Very popular Instagram skater. Very popular skater all over the world. San Francisco Hill Bomber. When I saw the name Pablo Ramirez, it didn't really ring a bell. Only a day later did I find out that his Instagram handle was P-spliff. And I realized I'd seen this guy quite a bit. He passed away a few days ago. He was skitching on a car in San Francisco. Skitching along. That's when you hold onto the bumper and the car pulls you around. He fell down and apparently the car behind him smashed him and he died. It's a really sad thing. And I've slowly kind of figured out a little bit more things regarding this incident. He was by himself, skitching a car around town or whatever by himself. So number one, that's really badass. Number two, rather than glorify this guy so much, I think as a whole, as a community, we should all look at each other and say, let's try to be a little safer out there. Okay, let's not let this guy's death be in vain, because all I see online right now is a motherfucker saying, let's go bomb a fucking hill for him. Let's go do something reckless because of him. Let's go do that. And again, I try to think outside the box for a lot of these things. I think as a skateboard community, we could all look at this and sort of say, hey, no one's invincible. Okay, number one, you're not going to be here forever. So yeah, live life to the fullest. On that note, you can't be reckless forever and not eventually have it catch up, okay? This guy was great at skateboarding, great at bombing hills, and he was so confident that what killed him is probably something that he had done thousands of times before. Thousands and thousands and thousands of times. He's probably done this. He was a pro. And when you put yourself in a dangerous situation day after day after day, something fucking bad can happen. And we see it every single year on Instagram. We see somebody bombing a hill and they run into a car. Well, thankfully, it's only a rolled ankle here or a dislocated shoulder there, or Jake Phelps going to the hospital here, or some guy breaking his leg there. It's just a little thing every single year. And now, this week, we have a fucking kid who's dead. You know, a talented, from what I read, a really happy guy that, you know, brought smiles to everybody's faces. And, you know what? It kind of annoys me that everyone does this whole, like, died doing what he loved, bro. He fucking died doing what he loved, bro. And it's like, no, I guarantee you he would have loved to spend more time with his friends and family, skating and getting old. So this whole fucking dying on a skateboard thing, but we give that like a big fucking a dap and say, hey, way to go, dude. I don't know if I want to get behind that, but that's just my personal opinion. Okay? I also noticed Metro posted a video of him, which is kind of morbid, in my opinion. It was a really badass video. Super fucking badass, but it's kind of morbid because it shows him cutting off a car, saying, fuck you to the car, turning the corner, and then bombing a fucking insane hill. But the idea that something similar to that is what ended up killing him. And we have one story where it's a story of like, yeah, super fucking badass. But then right next to him, we have the exact same story, except it ended up in death. Becomes like, oh no, it's so sad. And it's I don't know, it's just ironic that skateboarders can kind of pick and choose like what's cool and what's not based on the outcome. So I don't know. RIP to him and all his friends. It's a really fucking sad story. And if I can say anything about that, just go out there, guys, and be as safe as you can. Have fun. Go out there. Fucking push the limit. You know what I mean? Bomb hills, whatever. But keep this shit in mind and try to at least keep yourself as safe as you can without overdoing it, right? Like I tell you guys at the end of every podcast, at the end of every stream, go out there, have a good night, have some drinks. Don't have too many drinks, but don't have too few drinks either. Same thing kind of goes for skateboarding. Go out there, fucking push it to the limit, push it hard, but don't push it too hard, but also don't push it too little. Find a nice happy medium in there. So, Notre Dame, I don't know what it's called, but that shit burnt down. And a lot of controversy about that because this big fucking building burnt down. Honestly, I don't know shit about the building. I don't know anything about it. All I did was read about it, and I guess it's some big fucking badass building for like tourists to visit, and it looks cool and shit. It burnt down because of some electrical bullshit, and the whole world is fucking sad. People are crying. I kind of don't give a fuck. Then again, I'm kind of a hypocrite because if a popular casino burnt down here in Las Vegas, I would expect the world to care, and they probably would not care. And one of the big things where all the controversy comes from is like billionaires now across the world are all donating to help rebuild this big fucking structure. And everyone's mad because they're like, well, there's still countries that are starving. Well, there's still people that can't afford health care. There's all kinds of terrible things going on in the world. But you guys are throwing all your money at this building. And I get it. I guess a lot of those points are valid. But guess what? They got a bunch of money, and they can do what the fuck they want with it. You fucking pussies. That's all I'm going to say about that. Don't ever bitch at a person who has money spending it the fucking way they want to spend it. You fucking puss boys. God damn it, I hate reading that shit. I was reading that shit all over Facebook. Well, there's still people in Flint who need water. Well, there's still people in Africa who are starving. Well, go, motherfucker, go make a bunch of money and send it over there. God damn it. I don't fucking know. Whatever. That's all I got for the podcast today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We are going to do a short post show. So if you're watching now, stick around because we might have something fun planned for you guys. If you're not watching this live, you should. Every Friday, right around 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. Maybe 3:30, between 3:30 and 4. Depends on if I'm hungover or late or whatever. You guys can tune in. Have a good old time. If you tuned in late today, don't worry. This podcast comes out every single Sunday. You guys can find me on Instagram at Black Ninja LV. The LV stands for Las Vegas. You guys can also find me on Facebook. Just type in Ninja Lifestyle. If you guys have any life problems, life questions, I'm always here. Although I don't respond to Instagram DMs, I do always read Facebook messages. So if you want to really get down and dirty, if you're wondering about some life advice, because during the pre-show today, I had mentioned that I wish I had a few more mentors to give me life advice. Jokes aside, I'm here to talk to you guys whenever you guys need me. And let's go ahead and give me a hell yeah in the chat so that I can shout out everybody who stuck around till the end. Also, I want this podcast to grow, and you guys should hopefully want this podcast to grow also. So please tell a friend if you enjoyed the podcast when it comes out. Put the link on Facebook. Tell your friends. If you know somebody that has a long drive to work, tell them, because this is a 45-minute podcast, sometimes longer. Shout out to Scoot and a Crime, iBook, Kane, Blue Raja, OG Mickey, Mr. Dobry, Gyges, Wow Exclamation, iBook Boy, Skill Renter Notorious, C. Sean, Dream Skate, and more. I always appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And that wraps up another awesome episode of Stop Crying Poser. Let's go ahead and play that motherfucking intro / outro. Final thought. If bitches don't like you, don't go kill a kid. Just become a less shitty person.